Good morning, traders. So this is your Aussie, your South African top 40 daily review. And yet again, the closing range strategy played out, and we'll look at that on the lower time frames. But we did have a pretty solid rally, and that was due to a weaker rand more than anything else. So we have ended up with a fairly strong green bar, but what we've also ended up with is a bounce off of 61.8 or even the 72.6 Fibonacci. Okay, so if we just drop down to the lower time frames, and you'll see on the 4 hour we've got a rejection off Fibonacci levels, and we've ended up with a massive pin bar on the 4 hour. Okay, so I would almost be inclined to believe that I need to start looking for shorts on this market for that measured move to play out. Okay, and that measured move would take us down to, I would say 48,840, but I'd round that off to 48,900. Okay, and the reason for that is you've got a 200 moving average, plus you've got some swing lows and swing highs here. So that's kind of my view. One thing that we do have is we've got a break through the alligator. Alligator is pointing up, so it could be a reversal and a bounce off the alligator, or even come back, close a gap, and then rally again. Difficult to call. Obviously, for this measured move to play out, we'd have to break below 49,370 for us to have confidence that the move will play out. Okay, so look at the hour, and you can see we had the break of the alligator and the 200 EMA, and we had a nice strong rally before the seller stepped in. Seller stepped in. The only thing that is pretty close is the 72.6 Fibonacci. Other than that, there was nothing there to indicate why sellers were stepping in. Okay, so let's just get down to half hour, because again, that's the one that you want to trade. So yesterday, let's just get rid of the noise. Yesterday I said to you, you're looking for a breakout of the last hour of trading. There's a last hour of trading. Okay, you got the gap up, you came back to close the gap. Didn't quite close the gap on the lower time frames, the higher time frames it did. And then you had the rally. And it was quite a decent rally as well. Okay, so that just gives you an indication of how powerful this closing range strategy is yet again. And often when you have a failure like we had on Wednesday, when that happens, you normally have a move in a direction. So it's normally an indication of a double bottom, rounding bottom. And that's exactly what played out. And we actually hit the target and more. Okay, so for today, you have the same setup. Okay, the only challenge is today that your stop is fairly wide, because this closing range is 460 points. Okay, so what you're looking for is a break either side. You can get in at that point and a stop at the top or below, or alternatively just wait for a better structure on the lower time frames and get in on that. So I think that's kind of my standard strategy on the Aussie at the moment, is just look for the closing range. Whatever breakout we get, that's one we take. Bear in mind, looking at the minutes, you can see we do have a little bit of a pullback onto support. If this holds, you would expect to move back to the upside. Okay, so yeah, it's just looking. I've just looked at the other two markets, the Dow and the Dax, and both those markets have got me sitting on the sidelines. with what I see there. And often when I see that, the South African market tends to follow, but sometimes the rand does influence things. And if we look at the rand at the moment, rand is sitting at 14.61, so slightly weaker again. US markets yesterday were down not much. S&P was down 0.4%. It's down 0.2 at the moment. Nasdaq was down 0.6% and is down 0.2 at the moment as well. So a tough one to call, but I would expect us to have some kind of a rally here. Remember what I say, V reversals are rare, so I would expect to see some kind of a rally and then possibly another move down. Or alternatively, this is looking at the hour. This is the pullback. We'll find some support here and look for longs for another attempt here or even a breakup. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at the moment. And 10 cent is down 0.4%, so relatively flat. Okay, so I think this closing range is something to watch. It is a very big range, so you may actually find it becoming a range for the day as well. That's often the case. If we do break down and we run up and test that and start reversing, then I'd take that short and anticipate this range height as the target. And I think, let me just use this line here, but I think the range height will be pretty close to this gap. Well, close the gap. Now there's a gap there. So this would close the gap. Okay, so that's kind of my view at this stage. Let's see what happens here. If we do, I do expect a bit of a bounce here. So kind of what I'm expecting is a little bit of a bounce, maybe up into the alligator, 50% of the range, and then a move to come and attempt to break out below here. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Just bear in mind that there is a bit of a wedge here. And this wedge has a measured move of, we'll look at what the level is now. I suppose up to these tails here. Anyway, there's merit for a move both ways. I think that's the point that you need to pay attention to. I'm just going to delete all these things. So watch out for this closing range. If you do get a bounce up and a move, then you do have a fairly large target to aim for. If it does get all the way back to the top and it bounces off the top, that's also a nice entry for a short, because that could be a double top and then a stop above the tail for a move to anticipate a break below this range. Okay, but it may just go sideways for the whole day based on the size of the range. So yeah, I'm kind of inclined to believe that the way to trade this is not to trade it today. Just stay out of it. One side of it says trade with the trend. The trend is up. And the other side is saying we're at a Fibonacci retracement level. Get ready for a move down. So we're going to have to find some support somewhere. And if we can find it here, then the break above here will definitely give you a range target up. But if we form a sort of a lower high, that's going to be a merit to go short. Okay. So that's kind of my view at the moment. And the 4 hour is messy. Daily, the trend is up technically, so you should technically be trading with a trend. But this messy environment we've had for most of this month makes me a little bit wary. Anyway, so net result is I'm not going to bother with this. I think I'm just going to take the next 2 days off and not bother trading it. I'd rather keep the money in the pocket. Anyway, guys, hope it helps you. Whatever you do, keep those stops really tight and enjoy your day. Catch you later. Cheers for now.